I see it. I see things more clearly now. It's hard to see, but I have kids and possibly grandkids plugged into computers that see all this stuff. And it'd be hard with the, God, that'd be hard for Patrick because, when he was, well, shit. That was, he was born in 1991. So when he was doing his thing with the Taysums, that was in the early the late the 2010s. That nine, he was 18 and 19 and stuff. He joined the service in 2010 or 11, I think it was. Okay, so uh, shit. So how many kids were conceived in that? And then you're dealing with kids, if you're using drugs and alcohol and having sex, you're dealing with kids that have different brain operations, different things. You might have some kids with Down syndrome. You might have some kids with autism. You might have some kids with precog brain injuries and stuff because of the Wi-Fi and the sex being induced through alcohol and drug use. So, my kids know, me and Rocky, we're not doing drugs and alcohol, and stuff, and me and Law either. And so my kids would be, very healthy kids conceived in the 1980s. And the Wi-Fi and everything was at a different time and stuff. And so my kids would be in this and then be older and more mentally and emotionally stable. And especially when I connected to them in Sierra Vista. And yeah, I would be, my best guess would be that Uriah and Andre are plugged in at Huachuca. It just logistically makes sense. It's the best Wi-Fi in the world. The arrangements for the sexual unions of tracing signals through the families in North Africa to my migrating line to replicate similar people, because they tried that with my mom with Steve Stack to try to replicate Herschel Stein-Snyder because she is Stokovich, and it didn't work. And then something happened in Roswell, and they had to say, no, just let the woman pick the sire, and let it be like Ivanhoe. Okay. And so something happened from the future to the past to tell the people, you're fucking it up. Let the woman choose who is going to be the father to the son. Okay, don't decide for her. It's not arranged marriage that gives you Jesus. It's not arranged marriage that gives you Moses. It's not arranged marriage that gives you David. It's Tony and Maria. Okay, it's Romeo and Juliet. It has to be this. The horses in Arabia of Saladin's family. Allah decides, let's go eat. So you can't arrange Ark of the Covenant. You can't arrange. You can't pick the best. You can't do like Amy Farrah Fowler and Sheldon, and or create your offspring to be the uber geniuses in a lab. They'll be trapped by the delusions of their minds, as opposed to be free, to be humble, to have faith in God, and the Holy Spirit will work properly. That's why Dave Miscavige and Tom Cruise don't have the chi that Tom Cruise and Will Smith were treated the way I'm treated right now. They'd have died 15 years ago. They wouldn't be able to handle the soup kitchens and the Roundup and the pesticides and the constant torture and the constant mocking. They'd try to kill somebody, and one of these fucking super soldiers would kill them in the parking lot right on the spot. Well, that man went crazy. Snap. Oh, he's dead. Oh, super soldiers know better of me. Oh, I don't want to cross this guy. I don't want to get killed doing something stupid. I'm addicted to killing people in foreign countries and fucking foreign hoes. He'll take away all my fun in just one bad maneuver. I gotta go. I know you do. Okay. I'm the guru and I can see right through you. It's my boys. Yeah, it's my oldest. My youngest, it's hard on him. I don't know if Noah, I know Crumb's not my biological. I don't know about Noah either. The conception time, they did that with me when they told me in Sierra Vista, you think he was conceived then, but I know. She was out screwing around. I know. You have an injury on your testicle because of Stephanie right after, yeah. That was probably induced by the Pentagon to see how I reacted to other leg lifters' children and raising them the same way I try to raise my own. It was a science project. Well, because Jeffrey Hinton is like Amy Farrah Fowler, Beverly Hofstadter, and Sheldon Cooper, and Barney Kripke, and Leslie Winkle. What's this university about? It's all about money, because money is how the arrogant manipulate the ignorant. You're just so stupid. You'll never win a chess game again in your life, will you? I'm just a talking monkey to you. Yeah, you are. Your hypothalamus is slimming and you're just like an egg salad sandwich in Texas on a warm summer's day, right? You don't know how these people are. I didn't know how these people are. I still have trouble figuring out how these people are, and I've watched all the Big Bang Theory, and I still have trouble conceiving just how fucked up their brains are and while they'll keep doing what they're doing. Jesus told me that, just be as selfish and stupid as you possibly can be. Just think that way. Now, just keep going. Fuck you! That's them. I know why Vanessa's so mad. She's always screaming in that tube. She's probably in California. That's where she was extracted. So she's probably plugged into a in a military base in California while her brothers are plugged in Arizona. Logistically makes sense. Correct? So, which means Patrick's kids would be plugged in. Yeah, the best places, the best Wi-Fi is, and Patrick would have conceived those kids in Arizona. So Patrick's grandchildren would be plugged into the same computer system as their uncles. And that should give Patrick some comfort. His uncles are good people. Chief Gilliard's grandson. Patrick, you thought you liked Anthony Ward and Andre Ward a lot, which they are fun and good kids. But Chief Gilliard's grandson, your older brother would be one hell of a big brother, and he is one hell of a big brother. Just because he's plugged in the computer by a bunch of perverts doesn't take away the fact that he's one hell of a big brother. Okay? And if you ever met Rocky, she's very astute and very smart, but she's very tribal. And she gets manipulated by that tribalism very easily. And if you go read the story of Uriah, he was the same way. Okay. But Uriah of Rocky is in a different situation than Uriah of the woman in the ancient times in the Bible. Once he got put in a position to where he felt like, holy shit. Yeah. These hypocrites are going to kill this woman because I was going to betray the good shepherd of Israel to take his place by using a woman who didn't want to betray him and then having hypocrites kill an unborn baby because they saw it as a demon. Now you know what it's like to feel vulnerable as a baby that has no control over what happened to his life and is judged by hypocrites who are playing God. So he knows. He loves his mom as much as I love his mom. And you can, when your mom is wrong, you can turn around and tell her, Dad's right, the Lord's Prayer is perfect, you need to stand up for it and stop praying to Jesus for money. And you need to stop seeing money as reality. How many times did last time you were on the computer on Facebook, how many times did Dad tell you, Raquel, money's not real? Raquel, they only use money to manipulate. Well, I help people get college loans to pay for their college, to pay extortion to live here. The Lord's Prayer is perfect, and Psalms and Proverbs are perfect. Why are we having this conversation? You're smarter than this. And your son has to sit and listen to it and says, why does she keep ignoring Dad and thinking she's smarter than Dad? It's okay. Grandpa does it too. Yeah. Uncle Lawrence does it. Uncle Jerry does it. Aunt Linda does it. Aunt Poncha does it. All the kids do it. He's the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer, does it with immaculate courage, immaculate faith, and without wavering and no fear. He's absolutely perfect. He's like Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. Saladin. He's just a perfect man. Anybody who doesn't see it is so trapped in their ego, they can't step outside their ego long enough to say, I am your Father. If you believe in the Lord and you have faith in God and you want to live the Lord's Prayer and you want to be like the man who will not waver from it, I am your Father. And then you need to go home and convince your earthly physical parents, this is my Father, be like my Father so we can all live in the kingdom of heaven. Hasta aquí hoy, órale. My New Mexico true, right? So I was born here for a reason. And Mom didn't want me to be born in Texas. And they just wanted to get the hell away from California. And things didn't work in Arizona because of economic political shenanigans. So the best place we could try to raise a family where you're always family. Doesn't matter if you're from Iowa or Nueva York or Korea or India. You come here and you love us, and you don't make fun of our chili, and you like our mariachi music, and you like our ranch museum and our way of life, and you come here and you work hard and you build a family, and you're a New Mexican. You're always a New Mexican. You're not from away. This isn't Maine. Okay? You're from away. No. This is New Mexico. You come here, we trust you, you know, you prove yourself trustworthy. You're a hard worker and a good person. You're a New Mexican. You're always a New Mexican. You go away, you go to Maine for 20 years, you come back. Hey, welcome back home. Okay. Going to go down to the stadium and watch the Aggies lose again. Been doing it for 50 years. Why stop now? No, we had some good years there. When we went all NIL and started bringing in all that, I don't want your blood money, right? Your nephew's trapped in that hell. Yeah, all my nephews are trapped in that hell. They've been trapped in that hell their whole lives. Some of my nephews are in their 40s, still trapped in hell of, we need Jesus fuck money, pray to Jesus for fuck money, otherwise they'll incarcerate us. You're already incarcerated. You're indoctrinated, and you're institutionalized. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery, none but ourselves. I got that today when I told Dad that. I said, she told me to go outside and help, and my swelling in my leg has gone immensely down because of the sunlight, which I have to get out, and I'll go out and soak in it again today, but I have to connect to Sedalia, and she told me that. I was like, Dad, my cousin loves me. Sedalia loves me. She must have a lot of meditations and prayer that she tries to connect to the spirit of Solomon, so she connects to my boy Andre. She was trying with Patrick, but she's right. Yeah, no, he acts more like Absalom. Yeah, he acts a lot like Absalom. If you look at the characteristics and the traits and the thing with the mother and the way the mother manipulates Absalom through their African sex cult tribalism, yeah, he acts a lot like Absalom. Solomon's different. Solomon tells mom, you're wrong, and then when Sheba comes to manipulate him, he corrects Sheba and says, no, the African sex cults are wrong, and faith in Jehovah is right. And Solomon corrects the situation with his wisdom. You have a lot of people that go, oh, he did this and he screwed up. He didn't screw up, she screwed up. She tried to set up the sex cult conditions of Africa in David's house, and Solomon said, I'll give you the respect of what your family traditions are, but you don't force your family traditions and your barbarian sex cult tribal warfare ways on me. You ain't the woman king, and you need to stop, or you can leave and never come back. Okay, I will not capitulate to a woman's barbarism just to have sex with her because I have children with her. You will have faith in Jehovah. You can go live in Africa and raise your kids to be barbarian, murdering hordes. That's Solomon. Okay. Patrick, no, he's got a good big brother.